Okay guys, hope you're well. I'm going to be trading a market I very rarely trade. In fact, I can't even remember the last time I traded it. Euro pound.
Matron, take them away.
And a warm welcome to one and all. This is your first time here. I am the big fella Scruff, and what I'm trying to do is put trading in the real world. Maybe show you a trick or two along the way. So if that sounds good and you want to experience trading firsthand, do hit that subscribe button. Genuinely helps. And if you find value, smash the like, share to your friends, and drop a comment below because I answer every single one of them. So what are we doing? Well, I'm going to be trading in the moment because that's all I do. I don't believe in rollback charts or anything like that. So what you see is what I see. And I'll break the chart down as I see it. And if the setup comes, I'll trade it. Can't be any fairer than that. And when we're looking at trading, it is quite simple. Because ultimately all you've got to remember is the price will go up, it'll go down. That's it. You know, if it's going nowhere, you've got nothing to worry about. So you've just got to get your direction right, things like that. And actually not try and be clever. Apply what I call common sense. So why this market? Well, I've already broke it down for the guys in the Discord. Let me just show you that. Kind of switch this on. They're on chittering away as it is now, but in here, there it is there. I have broken down exactly what I'm looking at. Now, you take a good view of the market, you break it down, you make an opinion, and then you stick to that conviction. That's kind of the way I look at it. Now, every morning, I put in a strength for them so they can see what the currency basket is. So it's up here, so you can get a good gauge of what's going on in the market. But I also, when I start going to market, put the bias in before I go to chart. So they can roughly see what direction I'm going in, the market I'm looking at, and the chart that I'm looking at. Now I take my charts from what I call an anchor chart. And this one is a 1 hour. But it's telling me it's risky. So I've got to be a bit careful and wait a little bit. But let's have a look. The euro is pretty darn strong. Okay. But the pound isn't that bad either. But the pound is losing ground and euro's gained a little bit. Okay. So that might kind of explain why selling this thing can be a little bit risky. So that sheet is brilliant because it actually works out what's going on. It tells me good markets to trade, tells me which chart to look at, and that's it really. And then I've got another engine which kind of works out the bias for me. So it's telling me it's a sell, and it's telling me to look at the 1 hour. So let's look at the 1 hour. Well, why would it sell? Well, it's had a super surge up. So maybe that's running out of steam. Well, if it is, then it's coming up to about here. And I've got this all marked in nice. Now this market doesn't move that quick. In fact, it's pretty darn slow. In fact, that sell looks like it might be coming now. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, so I might drop a quick 5 pip order into this. There we go. So you see if we can get quick 5 pips out of this one. Just while we're talking. Move that down onto there. So idea of that, get down into around this area. All right, that's not out of the realms of possibility, but let me explain this a little bit further as we go, because it's just turned 11, so that'll explain the change in sentiment. So we'll go back out to the hour, and what we're seeing is the surge up A little bit of a collapse. Now I think I'll stage this all the way up, and we might be able to get a little bit of money out of it. And I'm doing this for a chap called Ken, so it's a little salute to you. Contacted me a few times. Seems a nice guy and only trades this. So I said I would do it, and here we are. And it's likewise what I do for the guys in the squad. Now I'm a big believer in respect, and I'm a good believer in, if you say you're going to do something, you do it, you know. So that's what I do for those guys. If they ask me to do something, I genuinely go above and beyond to help, you know. And I defend that group to the end, you know. It's a single community with shared togetherness, and that's it. There's no islands in there and no self-promotions or anything like that. Everybody's level playing field. And likewise, if somebody contacts me, if I say I'm going to do something, I'll do it. I think that's about as fair as you can get. You know, trust me, I am a brutal sod. I've got a horrible sense of humour, and I do have a vicious streak in me at times. But ultimately, I like to think I've got a moral compass, you know, and that goes a long way. And you need that with these charts, believe it or not, because that moral compass can keep you in the right side of a trade. And why? Because it's either right or it's wrong. And if it's wrong, you stay away from it. Whereas if you don't have that compass, you'll try and trade anything. You know, oh, it's ready, I'm going to go. You know, because you haven't got a compass. So it kind of helps me. Anyway, let's get back to what we're looking at. So at this moment, if we push this out a little bit further, we can see it's had a Murray run. It can't sustain that run. There has to be some kind of reprieve. And that's what I'm looking at. Okay, and that reprieve down into the tops of these. All right, it's kind of where I've targeted, but I'll take some money off here, see if it runs. If it doesn't break through, I'll go back in. Now I'm quite happy with the way that this is laid up. Take it down here, we can start putting some in and outs. Now what you'll also start seeing, if you look at this current leg, there's a big tail at the top, but that's the one that catches my eye, this one here. All right, and I'll show you for why. That tail is huge. That's telling you whatever pressure's coming in, it's to the downside. All right, now I'm also trading oil today as well, so I'll keep half an eye on that. And there's the flush coming in. But another thing you can do is actually have a look at the basket of the big picture. Well, that's starting to sell off. This one's selling off. This one's selling off. And this one's selling off. So it's reasonable to assume that this one will sell off as well. And that's another way of looking at things. It's kind of what the sheet does as well. It looks at multiple markets in order to make a choice. And that choice is a sell. So let me play this out because I want to watch oil. I need to do a bit of work on that as well. And what we'll do, we'll come back at the end and I'll explain what I'm doing. But basically, it's the exhaustion of that drive what I'm looking at. If I drop a fib into it, see kind of the lowest point is roughly here, and it's got up as far as there. It'll work to the 23, to the 38, and I'm looking to be out in between the two, which is here. All right, and I've only put a small trade on simply because it's not something I trade all the time, and I don't want to go gun-ho at it. Okay, again, familiarity. If you understand it, trade it. Don't understand it, be cautious. Process over money. It's always process over money. The money is just the byproduct of doing the job. If you put the money in first, well, you're probably wasting your time. Catch you in a bit. Okay guys, so that's my day over. I've been monitoring it kind of on my phone, what I've been doing today, and certainly for the next week and a bit. I'm doing a lot of set and forget trades, and it's really just while I'm on doing a bit of work in the other house.
You want to know what it's like living with her? Watch this. Right, crazy horse. This room's nearly done, so we'll clean it up, get it finished tomorrow, and then what are you looking at?
Yeah, this one's today.
It is done today.
No, it's not. Not yet.
Oh.
Today we're doing this, the whole tomorrow, and then the bedroom as well. They're doing over the bank holiday.
And what is it? Casualty on Tuesday?
Back to work.
You crazy bitch.
Let's stop it. What do you say? Go in there. Get up!
Now, when you do that, you still need to monitor and be aware of what's going on. Now, it's currently 10 to 7, so I've just killed off the trades. I'll show you them in a second. And that's because it's the FOMC minutes tonight at 7 o'clock. All merry hell can break loose, and it often does. And I don't want to hold the trade, or any trades for that matter, in it. So we have nothing running. There is no orders anywhere. And there you go. There's today's trades, just shy of 800 quid. And it's all rack and stack. You know, you just put the orders in and then let it get on with it. But you've also got to be prepared to cut things out and various things, and they're the red marks. And that's another part of trading. And what is that? Well, if we narrow trading down into reality, the money we make is not ours till we actually press sell, buy, bank, whatever you want to call it. So it doesn't matter what's in the middle. As long as I start with 0 and end with 1, I don't care if that was a sea of red, but 1 blue, that paid it all off. Really doesn't bother me. Oh, the only part of it I'm interested in is the grand total at the bottom. Whether or not I started with more at the end of the day, or I finished at the end of the day more than I started with. It's been a long old day. If you look at my eyes, are all bloodshot and buggery because I am absolutely knackered. That wife of mine, bloody hell, she's crazy. She's like never ready battery. You know, I think somebody needs to unplug her from the back because she just doesn't stop. She just goes at it over and over and over. And but she wants the house done, so, and it makes her happy. So that makes me happy. Because today's our wedding anniversary and we've had a great day today. So what's the moral of all of this? Well, firstly, trading to me is a job. You know, I don't live to work. I work to live. So I do what I need to do, and then the rest of the time is my own. That's the perfect way. But when I watch, certainly on my Discord and the Telegram and one thing, some people just live to trade. And sadly, they'll never make it. And the reason being is they might get so wrapped up in it, they always want to be in the market. Well, that's the worst thing you could possibly do. Because you've got to know when not to be in the market. So it kind of echoes back to something I was talking about at the weekend, about glass half full and glass half empty. You see, as a person, I am glass half full. I'm always looking forward to life and I enjoy life. But when I'm trading, I'm actually the other way. I'm always sitting on the back foot because I do what I have to do and I do it in a defensive manner. And as soon as I'm done, I knock off. That's it. And then I can flip back to being glass half full. Strange way of looking at things, but it kind of works for me. So that was today. I kind of did the euro pound for Kem. A little salute to you again. Really just because we were talking about it and I wanted to analyze it and trade it, and it's something I don't do. So it's a little bit out of my comfort zone, and it's a bit of a too slow market for me, to be honest. It doesn't light the world on fire. So a trade that I would normally take maybe a couple of hours to do is taken all day to do. You know, whereas if I did the same trade on the DAX, it would be a couple of hours. But it's horses for courses. There's nothing wrong with a slow market as long as you're prepared to sit on it for 5 or 6 hours. You know, but my theory on that is, well, I might run into a few roadblocks that are unexpected and a few that are expected. A little bit like tonight, FOMC. I could hold that trade on, and the premise of it is still pretty much correct to what I thought. But do I want to risk it? No. I've been paid very well. So I'll just walk away. And I'm being paid that well. Might even have tomorrow and Friday off. Who knows? See what happens, because I've got lots to do at the house. So anyway, if you're stuck, very easy found. There's a lot of contact details down in the description. You'll also find the prop firm that I use, the 5%ers, and you'll get 5% off any buy-in. It's a very good ROI on your investment. There's also BlackBull, which is one of my preferred brokers. And of course, the Scruffy Squad. So as always, guys, trade well, keep your risk managed, but above all, do what you love, and the money will follow. See you all in the next one.